So, my house flooded again. Let me tell you all about it. So many of you probably remember last year, this same house flooded during Hurricane Idalia. I was in the process of selling it. I lived here for 3 years. It didn't even flood into the yard during 3 hurricane seasons. And then we're under contract to sell it. Hurricane Idalia came. There was about 18 inches of water. This time, there was close to 4 feet of water in here. That's a lot of water. But have to rebuild it again. Big flood insurance claim. Just kind of want to share the process a little bit. So yeah, record storm season this year. This was Hurricane Helene that flooded this one. Hurricane Helene didn't even hit this area, but it was just that storm surge. They call that the dirty side. Similar to Idalia. Obviously, I've been through this before. It's not the end of the world for me. Thankful that I wasn't living here with my family. A lot of my neighbors got flooded around here, and all their stuff is ruined too. I wasn't in that situation. Super thankful for that. So a lot of houses in this area, in Tarpon Springs, and especially in St. Petersburg, were affected during Hurricane Helene. Some with Milton, but not as many as with Helene. A lot of homes were flooded. And a lot got this 40 to 50 inches, which is kind of wild. And some of these houses have genuinely never flooded. Of course, this one has. But it's never flooded above the outlets. We have to pull new electric this time because of all these cloth wrapped wires that are 60 years old. And the original steel junction boxes. And the electrician told me these are original. They have had no rust on them until now. So last year we spent about $90,000 renovating this house, and we'll have to spend a little bit more this time. I'm gonna do a few extra things to bring it further up to normal codes now, especially with the windows and the electrical. Definitely not the place that I wanted to be in. Definitely not the place that anyone else dealing with this wanted to be in. The electrician just pulled up to get started. Hope he doesn't get stuck in that grass. Work vans get stuck in that grass often. But I want to show a little bit of what it looked like when I first saw it. So here's the video that I took and sent to our family group text to show exactly what it was like when I came and opened the door. Water was still coming out the doors and stuff like that. The living room I'm in right now is sunk down a little bit. So obviously this was holding water. You can even see a picture there of me just looking at all the water. Okay, here's a little preview of the house. It's honestly so wild, I'm laughing about it. You can see how high the water was. Obviously it came over this. This is just full of water. This is the funniest thing in here. What in the world? How did that even happen? It's barely hanging on. It's wet on the top of this. So, quite a bit of water in here. Just a quick update here. I will keep you all updated on the process as we go through it. Something I'm definitely going to battle with a little bit is what's called the FEMA 50% rule. So the FEMA 50% rule has to do with how much you can update these old houses, how much you can improve or add on. You can only improve the value of the building by 49% before you have to bring everything up to current code, which would mean you have to raise up the house. And they add up all your permits that you've pulled over the last certain amount of years. They're not super clear on how they do that. But with the addition of the windows, having to do the electrical and a couple other things, and on top of renovations that were done last year and on top of the roof and those kind of things, I might hit this rule a little bit and have to kind of navigate that. And I think a lot of people will hit that. Say they live in a house that's really valuable because of its location, which most houses, their value is determined by their location. Say it's a small house by the water. That house, if it needs $100,000 worth of work, The building itself is not assessed as high as you think because the land is so valuable. So it's going to be an issue. It's going to be something that we hear a lot about in kind of the ramifications of these storms and of these people living in flood zones and those kind of things. Curious your guys' thoughts about all these storms. If you're local, I hope you're okay. If you're local and you need any help, I'd love to help. We refer contractors or anything like that. And we're also a team of realtors. A lot of neighbors down here are asking to sell as is. So if you're in that kind of boat, you need some help buying or selling, we'd love to help. So the electrician is here now. It's our first step, as I mentioned. While the walls are open like this, it's a little easier to do the electrical work. Next will be drywall. They're set to start on Tuesday. Then you got windows and doors, and I already ordered the cabinets. I'm just doing it back the same way that it was. And I can just go into those same websites and add the stuff to my cart again. Honestly, I've done a lot of this before with this house, but I don't want to get that much better at renovating this one house again and again. I am thankful that I stuck with the terrazzo floors throughout the house. That will be probably the easiest part of the whole project.